Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the English Insight Podcast. This is your place to learn real English for real life, step by step, together. I'm Sarah, and I'm so happy you are here with us today.
And I am Daniel. And truly, it feels really good to have you here with us. Like you are sitting with us, just listening, just learning, just growing.
Yes, exactly. Not a classroom, not pressure, just a real moment together.
So, Sarah, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about something that many people think about, but don't really understand deeply. We are talking about passive income.
Passive income. That quiet money that works even when you don't.
Yes, and today, we are not going to make it complicated. We are going to talk about it like real life, simple English, real situations, real feelings.
And by the end of this conversation, you will understand why it matters and how people actually think about it in daily life.
And maybe you will start to see your own life a little differently.
Yeah, maybe after this, you won't look at your money the same way again.
So, imagine this. It's a normal morning. You wake up, you check your phone.
You feel a little tired. Maybe you don't want to go to work today.
Yes, but you have to go, because if you don't work, you don't earn.
That is the reality for most people.
Now imagine something different. You wake up, and even before you start your day, you have already earned something.
Without working in that moment, without stress, without rushing.
That is the idea of passive income.
But Sarah, why do people feel so interested in this idea?
Because, deep inside, people don't just want money, they want freedom.
Freedom. To choose. How to spend their time.
Freedom to rest, freedom to learn, freedom to say no to things they don't enjoy.
And right now, many people feel stuck. They work. They get paid. They spend. And then they repeat the same cycle again.
Yes, day after day, week after week.
And sometimes they feel tired, but they don't know how to change it.
And maybe, if you are listening right now, you feel a little like that too.
Maybe you are learning English because you want more opportunities.
Maybe you want a better job, a better future, a better life.
And that's exactly why this topic matters.
Let's talk about a simple situation. Imagine you buy something small, like a digital product, maybe a simple course, or even a small ebook.
You create it once, just one time.
And then, people can buy it, again and again and again.
You are not working every second, but it still brings you income.
It sounds almost magical, right?
Yeah, at first it really does.
But it is not magic. It is a different way of thinking.
So Sarah, what is the biggest difference between normal income and passive income?
Normal income depends on your time. If you stop working, the money stops.
Very simple, very direct.
But passive income depends on something you build.
Something you create first, and then it continues to work.
And here is something important. It does not mean easy.
Yes, this is important.
Many people think passive income means no work.
That is not true.
You work, but you work differently.
You work at the beginning, with patience, with focus.
And sometimes it feels slow.
Sometimes very slow.
But slowly, something starts to grow.
You know, this reminds me of something.
What?
I once knew someone. He worked every day, very hard, long hours, always tired.
That sounds familiar.
Yes, But one day, he started something small on the side.
Something small?
Yes, just a simple online page. Nothing perfect.
And what happened?
At first, nothing. Then, a little progress. Then, more.
Slowly.
Yes, slowly, but consistently.
And that's something many learners need to hear too.
You mean, like learning English?
Exactly. At first, you don't see results, but inside, something is growing.
So whether it is English or money, the process is similar.
You show up, you continue, you don't stop.
And little by little, your life starts to change.
Quietly, but powerfully.
By the way, if you enjoy conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us.
And maybe share this with a friend, someone who also wants to grow.
So, Sarah, let me ask you something honestly. If someone is just starting, what is the first thing they should understand about passive income?
They should understand this. It starts with a small step, not a big dream. And most people miss that.
A small step. That sounds simple, but also a little confusing.
Yes, because many people wait. They wait for the perfect idea, the perfect time, the perfect moment.
And that perfect moment never comes.
Exactly. So instead of waiting, they can start with something real, something they already know.
Like what?
For example, maybe someone knows how to cook. Maybe someone understands basic English. Maybe someone has a simple skill. They can share that.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about being useful.
Yes, useful is the key word here.
And I think many people feel afraid. They think, I'm not good enough.
Yes, that feeling is very common.
They compare themselves to others, and then they stop before they even start.
But here is something important. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be a little ahead of someone else.
That's powerful.
Because even a small level can help someone who is just starting.
So, in a way, passive income is also about helping people.
Yes, very much. You create something, and it solves a small problem for someone.
And when people find value, they are happy to support it.
And that's why this is not only about money.
It's about impact.
Yes, impact and connection.
You know, this also changes how people feel about work.
How?
Because they are not only working for today, they are building something for the future.
And that feeling gives motivation.
Instead of feeling stuck, they start to feel hopeful.
And hope is very powerful.
But Sarah, let's be real for a moment. What are the challenges?
Good question. One challenge is patience.
Yes, because results are not immediate.
Another challenge is consistency.
Doing something again and again, even when you don't feel motivated.
And also, doubt. Sometimes you will question yourself,
Is this working? Should I stop?
and in those moments, you need to remember why you started.
Your reason, your goal, your vision.
And maybe your reason is simple.
Like what?
Maybe you just want a calmer life, less stress, more control over your time.
That is something many people want.
Yes, but not everyone is ready to take the first step.
But you, listening right now, you are already different.
Because you are learning, you are growing, you are thinking about your future.
And that matters.
It really does.
So Sarah, if someone listens to this, what should they do today?
Just one small thing. Think about one skill, one idea, or one way you can create something simple.
Not perfect, just real.
And remember, small steps lead to big changes.
Slow progress is still progress.
And just like your English, you are improving, even when you don't feel it.
So keep going, both in your language and in your life.
And before we finish, we would love to hear from you.
Yes, tell us, what does freedom mean to you?
Write it in the comments. Share your thoughts, your dreams, your ideas.
And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it.
Thank you for being here with us.
And we'll see you in the next conversation.
Take care and keep growing.